WOVU LP Cleveland.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Monday of Damage Control with your host and favorite marriage and family therapist, Aqueelah Wheatley. So, as we roll into Monday, which most of us already have, seeing as that it's 2 o'clock. But I would love for you to reframe the way that you think about Mondays. And if you haven't done so already, this is the perfect time to change your frame of mind. Remember, Monday is a launch pad of your aspirations. So start your week out with enthusiasm, right? We don't have to dread Mondays because they're a new beginning. There's something that we should be 100% excited about. Whatever we weren't able to accomplish, whoever we weren't able to become last week is washed away, and Monday brings new opportunity to do new things. We are going to start in with our first segment, as you know, which is Relationship R. And for those that don't know, which is okay too, and it is okay because we love all of our new listeners. So if this is your first time listening to Damage Control, welcome, welcome, welcome. And please continue to listen every Monday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 95.9 FM WOVU. You can also listen via the app, and that is the WOVU app, which you can download on the App Store or Google Play. And you can also listen by streaming live www.wovu.org. So there's so many ways to listen, no reason to miss it. Relationship art consists of questions that I take from my inbox, and that can be through Facebook, which is Supportive Advice Ohio. It can also be from the website, supportiveadvice.com/damage control. And I take the questions that have been submitted and I vet them, I read them, and then I address them live. We are going to go into the first question here. And the first question is, I have recently been close with a guy I met online. I feel we get along well so far. But I also feel sometimes that the chat is mostly geared toward intimate relations. He hasn't been in a relationship before, but has said that he would be interested in one because his friends are in one. He chats with me about other general, stuff, I guess, which is good, but sometimes the sexual stuff is a little hyped by him. He said that it's good to have a balance in a relationship, which I was kind of confused about because he said he had never been in a relationship before. I know it's normal to be, intimate in a relationship and that all of that is healthy. However, sometimes I don't know how I feel when that is all he wants to talk about. I haven't met this person yet, but we did agree to meet soon. What should I do? Okay. So what I'm hearing here is that you met someone online and that you all have been chatting, whether that has been over the phone, whether that has been through whatever website you met them on, et cetera, et cetera. And so you're noticing a trend in this individual's conversation. And even though you all talk about other things, for some reason, this individual continuously gears the conversation towards intimate relation, talking about possibly how they would like to engage in intimate relationships with you, what they imagine it would be like, what they might fantasize it to be like, things of that nature. And these conversations are healthy. However, it's important to be cognizant of what someone is interested in. And that comes from revealing what you're dating for. Like, why are you on the website? What were you looking to accomplish? What is your why for dating? Were you interested in a casual relationship, or are you interested in something that leads to marriage? Because those two things are very different paths. And that's not to say that if you start in a casual way that you'll never make it down the aisle. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that these are different roads that we're traveling here. Someone that is interested in courting someone for marriage is interested in being with them exclusively and making moves toward being married to that person. So they're looking to see if that person is spousal material from date one versus someone that might just be looking to have an intimate encounter or someone that is just looking to kill time. So these are different things. Now, you say that he says that he would be willing to get in a relationship, but someone being willing to do something is not the same as someone wanting to do something. And I think that is very important to understand that. Someone can be willing to do something if you pull their arm or if you push them a little bit. But if somebody wants to do something, there's a different level of enthusiasm that comes from that. And then the reason that he gives that he's willing to be in a relationship is essentially social pressure. Maybe he's tired of being the third wheel. You know, he says his friends are in relationships, so now, he's feeling left out or whatever the case may be. Then you have to ask yourself, well, if your friends break up with their significant others, are you no longer going to be willing to be in a relationship if it's based on those external factors? So there's a lot going on here. You don't sound necessarily like you mind conversation around intimacy every now and again, but I think that what might be bothering you is the repetitiveness of it. And not even that it just makes you uncomfortable, but it is making you question the person's motives. So the closer it gets to you all meeting up, you are unsure as to what that individual actually wants from you. This is a good time to start boundaries. Lay your intentions on the line. If you're dating because you're looking to have a serious relationship, that's something that needs to be said out loud. That's something that needs to be agreed upon, not assumed, agreed upon, because there are many times that we have unspoken expectations and then we are upset or hurt when the other person does not fulfill these things that we never told them they were supposed to be doing. And then we say, well, they should just know. Why? Why should anyone just know what you're thinking or what you want? That's not feasible, and it's also not fair. So talk to this individual. Let this person know, hey, I know we're going to be meeting soon, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear on my expectations. I'm talking to you for the purpose of XYZ, whether it's dating, casually, wanting to get married, wanting to be in a serious relationship, whatever the case may be, let them know. And then ask them, is that something that you are interested in pursuing seriously? Not, are you willing to? Is that something you are wanting to pursue with me? Because these questions, even though they sound very simple, they're needed. Because someone can say, well, I do want a relationship. And then we assume that means that we're the person that they want to be in a relationship with. That's not always true. And sometimes someone will say that they're willing, like this individual, and it's lackluster. So we're constantly pulling that person's arm. Also, this would be a great time to test out setting boundaries. If you don't like something, say it out loud. We tend to not want to push people away with telling them things that we don't like or setting boundaries or any of those things. However, then we're not really giving them a chance to get to know us at all. We're showing them this version of us that is willing to do whatever, whenever, talk about whatever, doesn't have any boundaries or whatever the case may be. And then once we're in a relationship, all of a sudden we start putting up all these roadblocks. And it's like, well, you really weren't honest because you didn't like some of these things previous to getting into a relationship and you never said a word. If you don't like the emphasis this individual is putting on intimate relations, say that. It's okay to say, hey, I really enjoy talking to you. And this is not a script, by the way, just so you guys know. But hey, I'm really interested in talking to you. I enjoy the time that we are able to speak with one another. However, I notice the subject of intimacy is coming up a lot. It's not really something that I'm into talking about as much. I really would like to get to know you on another level. Maybe we can talk about X, Y, and Z a thing, or what, or start asking questions. Because if he's doing this via chat or over the phone, it's not going to change when you both meet each other in person. Those interests that he has, whatever they are, they're going to remain the same. And so if you don't say anything, then you're not allowing him to know that you guys are not on the same page. So when you do meet, he's going to be thinking you're all for whatever it is that he's wanting, and you are going to be feeling pressured. And I don't want to say going to be, but could be. You could be feeling pressured at this point, just like you're feeling a little pressure now to go along, to get along. You don't have to go along to get along. No one is going to find anything that they're looking for out there going along to get along. And I think that is one of the biggest issues that we have when it comes to dating, is that everyone just wants to float through the initial dating part and then all of a sudden put down traction once the relationship is formed. The traction should be starting in the very beginning. Every encounter should be honest. It needs to be something that is an honest representation of who you are and what your intentions are. And if you find something that you're not, I don't want to say happy about, but that you have this interest in, or something that raises a red flag for you, I'm not telling you that you have to dismiss that person right away or anything like that, but I am telling you to talk about it. Talk about it. Why wait and coast through this part and then develop feelings for someone? And then once you've attached all of these emotions, then put up the boundaries and then put up the traction. No, if I put it up in the beginning, you already know where I stand before any emotions are involved. We can make logical decisions instead of setting emotional boundaries. I hope that was helpful for you. And if you all want to be a part of Relationship RX segment, message me at facebook.com/supportiveadviceohio, or go to the website, www.supportiveadvice.com/damage control. And I'll say that for you again, supportiveadvice.com/damage control. You can submit conflicts, questions. You can watch the replay if you missed this live. And you can also submit songs for lyrical detachment. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure that you hit us up on the website and on Facebook. We also have Instagram, instagram.com/Aqueelah Wheatley LMFT. And we are going to take our first break, and we'll be right back. Stick and stay. Don't go away.
Hey, now I know you weren't about to touch that dial. Stay tuned to more Damage Control on 95.9 WOVU Cleveland.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Did you know that 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year? Our mental health journey starts with a single moment. Take a moment to prioritize your mental health care without guilt or shame. Remember, Black people experience mental health conditions at similar rates to other racial groups, but tend to have a much harder time accessing resources to treat them. Call, chat, or text 988 to speak with a trained crisis counselor. Visit the Cleveland Office of Minority Health at clevelandandhealth.org for more information. Funded by the Ohio Commission on Minority Health.
Stay tuned to Damage Control on 95.9 WOVU.
Many people in our community dream of owning a home. Unfortunately, many also feel that that dream is out of reach. However, family, KeyBank is committed to changing that. KeyBank partners with a variety of mortgage programs focused on meeting the needs of borrowers, including offering down payment assistance, affordable and government loans, and solutions for first-time home buyers. A Key Community Mortgage is also a great way to help reach the goal of home ownership. It allows you to take advantage of low down payment options, and qualifying is easier than you might think. It's one more way KeyBank is supporting neighbors and neighborhoods in the communities that they proudly call home. To learn more, visit your local KeyBank branch and speak to a licensed mortgage loan officer. KeyBank and home lending products offered by KeyBank are not FDIC insured or guaranteed. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 399797.
This message has been brought to you by KeyBank and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Carr, Community Radio.
Off the track, let me say facts. I told you, give me a minute and I'll be right back. 50 million around the world and they said that I couldn't get it. I done got so sick and filthy with binges I can't spin. How you gonna be talking act like I just got a pit? Been the number one diva in this game for a minute. I know you read the paper, the one that they call a queen. Every radio around the
Hey, and welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with Damage Control here. And you know we are coming back to you every Monday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on 95.9 FM WOVU. And again, if you missed us live, don't fret. It's cool. Just go to the website, supportive.com/damage control. Remember, you can also submit songs to Lyrical Detachment and all that good stuff. So definitely check out our website. And if you are a social media guru, that's fine too. We have Instagram, instagram.com/Aqueelah Wheatley LMFT. And we are also available on .com/supportiveadviceohio. We are going to move on to another question in our relationship RX segment. I never realized how bad my trust issues were until I found someone I really liked. Long story short, I was in a 6-year relationship with someone that cheated on me 20 plus times, they said, and manipulated me and lied to me about all of it the whole time. And so at some point after our child was born, we did break up. And after that, I didn't want to date anymore. But I threw myself into it and realized that I was not in a place where I could be emotionally available. So fast forward a couple years, I decided to start dating again, and I met a really awesome woman. She treats me like I matter. She validates me, all the things. She's a fantastic mother. She also has kids. We've been talking to each other for about 3 months, but I can't shake this mistrust that I'm having. So essentially, I'm going to ask you to do the thing that you just said that you didn't want to do. And so my apologies ahead of time. But I am going to say, talk to your significant other. You said that this person is different. You said that this person is someone that allows you to feel validated and seen, which is complete opposite of the relationship that you described before, which was someone who was cheating on you and was gaslighting you and would get upset with you when you tried to express your feelings. Now, what this could lead to is a generalization. And the generalization would be, well, if I share my feelings, I will be gaslit, or this person will get upset. And we'll take that generalization into every relationship that we go in, and then we won't talk because we don't want to repeat those feelings. We don't want to be in that same situation again. However, sometimes it's not the thing you're doing, it's the person you're doing the thing with. And what I mean by that is that person is not a representation of every single person on this earth. They only represent themselves. So they can't speak for everyone, and their actions aren't everyone else's actions. Give this person a chance to show you something different. Build trust through the act of being vulnerable. And I know that that's hard, but it's almost like playing poker or making a bet. You put your cards on the table. You don't know what the other person has in their hand, but you're taking a risk. And when you win, the risk is rewarded. In this case, you are putting vulnerability on the table. And if this individual validates you, you win. The risk is rewarded. And then you'll start to feel more comfortable taking more risks within this relationship. So have the conversation, even though you don't want to, and get the agreement first, as I always say, because if you don't get the agreement first, you're just talking at someone, not to them. So ask them if they have the capacity to have a serious conversation with you. And if the answer to that is yes, move forward. And if it's not, then schedule a time to have the conversation within the next 24 hours or so. I hope that that was helpful to you. And again, if you want to submit to X, definitely hit us up at www.supportiveadvice.com/damage control, and you can submit questions, conflicts, comments, concerns, and songs for lyrical detachment. So that leads us to our next break. And again, you stick and stay, don't go away, because we will have one more question in our relationship, our X, before we go on to Listener Spotlight. Now, if you want to be a part of Listener Spotlight, just call us anytime. Call us anytime at 1-855-959-WOVU. And that is 1-855-959-WOVU, which is 96. Don't forget, you can also catch us on our website at www.supportiveadvice.com/damage control to submit questions, comments, concerns, conflicts, and songs. So however you want to get at us, just get at us, and we will be right back.
Trying. Keep striving. Keep moving forward to better skills, a better job, and a better life. Try C, where futures begin.
Better your skills at Cuyahoga Community College, bringing you this message along with WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Hey, now I know you weren't about to touch that dial. Stay tuned to more Damage Control on 95.9 WOVU Cleveland.
This is TJ Carey with the TJ Carey Foundation. Join us at our second annual 5K 1 mile Heart Warrior Run Walk, June 1st at the Erie Canal Towpath Trail. Race starting point at 3 West 11th Street. Sign up online at the TJCareyFoundation.org website now. There will be prizes, giveaways, food, and music. All proceeds from the run will help and support families battling heart disease nationwide. Join us June 1st for a heart-healthy 5K to benefit the TJ Carey Foundation. See you soon.
This message was brought to you by the TJ Carey Foundation and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, Burton Bell Carr Community Radio.
Hey, Cleveland, you want to hear your questions live on air? Call us at 1-855-959-WOVU for your chance to be heard live.
Cleveland, visit supportiveadvice.com/damage control for recaps and sneak peeks of new episodes.
Stop the track, let me stay facts. I told you give me a minute and I'll be right back. 50 million around the world and they said that I couldn't get it. I done got so sick and filthy with binges I can't switch, like I just number one in this game.
And we're back. So thank you so much for sticking and staying with Damage Control. And as promised, we are about to go into our next segment, which is Listener Spotlight. And for all of you lovely people who may not know what Listener Spotlight is, it is when I take the messages that I receive from our message center and I go through them, I vet them, just so that you know, and I put them on air, and then I answer them in real time. If you want to be a part of Listener Spotlight, which I'm sure you do, because why not? Give us a call at 1-855-959-WOVU. Again, that is 1-855-959-WOVU, which is 9688, for your chance to hear your questions on air. We are going to go into our first question. And as always, thank you so much for calling Damage Control. I'm listening.
How do I tell the 2-year boyfriend that I still look out for the ex-husband that I've known since I was 10 years old?
Okay, can we play that back? I I think we can play that back.
How do I tell the 2-year boyfriend that I still look out for the ex-husband that I've known since I was 10 years old?
Well, we don't. So next question. No, well, okay, fine, whatever. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm a therapist. I hear all types of things, no judgment. But I do want to say that there are a few things that would definitely need to be adjusted. And boundaries would be one. It would be like a huge one, like a ginormous one that would need to be adjusted. And also your loyalty and permanence as it relates to your current relationship, because essentially what you're saying is that you are prioritizing a relationship that has ended over the relationship that you are currently in. And so that lets me know, or it could let me know, I guess, I'm not psychic, that there is a possibility that you weren't over this individual when everything ended between you two, which means it could have been him. There could have been some infidelity. There could have been a lot of things. It also can kind of sway me in a direction of thinking that maybe you had a crush on him longer than he was digging you. Okay, because what you're doing is you are equating his value and the value of your previous friendship with him and the value of your previous marriage with him higher than the person that you're currently with. And it would be one thing if you said 2-month boyfriend. 2 months, all right, maybe that you do tell them and say, hey, I just want you to know the dynamics of the relationship that I have with my ex. I'm not really sure if children are involved. You didn't really say. However, you let someone know that in the beginning so that they can make a decision about it. Waiting 2 years to tell somebody that you have been looking out for this ex on the low for God knows how long, that is unacceptable. That is not fair to the person that you have been talking to, because typically, unless it's an arranged marriage, nothing starts out just completely serious. There's a point in which we're getting to know one another, we're liking one another, we're talking, we're sharing experiences, we're building experiential intimacy, and all of that good stuff. At any point, that would have been a good time to say, hey, I just want to let you know about the dynamics, myself and my ex. However, one of the reasons why people don't do this and put all the cards on the table is because they already have at least a social understanding that it's not acceptable. And that's not me saying I don't accept it from you. I'm saying from a social perspective, to go into a new relationship still holding on to the old relationship is not healthy, and it's not something that someone would typically willingly go into. So possibly we didn't tell them. We didn't say anything to them. We didn't let them know that we still looking out for this dude that we've known since we were 10. And am I saying that you shouldn't look out for him? I'm not saying that. I don't know the dynamics of the relationship. I also don't know if there's any children involved. But what I am saying is that at some point, you all decided to transition your relationship, your friendship, into a romantic scenario, which led to a marriage. And within that marriage, it was determined, whether by him, by you, or by both of you, that the relationship from a romantic perspective was not viable. And so there was a divorce. Now we're moving on, we're doing our own thing, and apparently this individual is still possibly calling you, or maybe you're calling him, as it relates to looking out for, because we can't look out for what we don't know about. So if we're still in communication, that's boundary number one. If there's no kids involved, why are we still talking to this person? Am I saying that exes can't be friends? No, I'm not saying that. It's not my place to say that. I don't know every scenario in which that could possibly work or not work. But I will say that it will definitely put a strain on whatever relationship you're attempting to pursue outside of that friendship, because there has been different levels of intimacy. I mean, at some point, this guy was your husband. And so I don't know what the expectation would be, in all honesty. I don't know what the expectation would be telling someone after 2 years that you're still looking out for this guy. It may not seem like cheating to you. It may not seem like infidelity to you because maybe you haven't slept with this guy since you've been in this relationship. But one thing that I really would love to get across is that infidelity is not the sexual encounter itself only. It's more than that. There's emotional infidelity, and at this point, you are caretaking for someone that you are no longer with while you're in a relationship with someone else. And essentially, when we think things are okay, when we feel that we are operating on the up and up, we typically will be honest about it. We'll typically say something. That's just human nature. We will put it on the table. It's only when we feel that there might be judgment or that we might be misunderstood or all of these other things that we start to hide things from people, because we have a person that we are, and then we have the person that we want everyone to see us as. And this is called cognitive dissonance. See, learned a new word today. Actually, two. Cognitive dissonance. And that is the separation between the person we are when we are alone or around the people we are most comfortable with versus the person that we want everyone to see us as. So in real life, you are the type of person, it sounds like, that will carry on a relationship with someone but still feel obligated to also carry on either a financial or emotional relationship with someone else based on the amount of years that you have known him. I'm almost positive that you see this as a form of loyalty. I'm almost positive that you actually attribute this as a good quality to yourself, that you are looking out for this person after the marriage ended. So I understand that in this day and age, loyalty is a big deal. And so a lot of times we will actually talk about how much we can take. We will pride ourselves. That's the word I was looking for. We'll pride ourselves on how much we can take from somebody and still be loyal, when in all honesty, that in itself breaches the loyalty we have to ourselves. We're letting ourselves down when we do that. And then we have to ask, okay, so where's the loyalty to the person that you're actually with right now? 2 years, 1 year, 9 months. It doesn't matter. You are in a committed relationship with someone that you are not being honest with. So I would really encourage you to ask yourself, how is having this relationship still open in one way or another serving me? Because often if we continue to engage in a relationship, it is in some way serving us. Maybe we weren't ready to let that person go. Maybe it diminished our value to us when the relationship ended. And so when the person is coming back and asking for things, this acts as a restoration of value. That could be. Doesn't really matter at this point though, because you are not in that relationship anymore. You're not. If your question really is, how do you tell the person that you are with that you're looking out for the person that you used to be with, I suppose we would use interpersonal effectiveness. We would have direct conversation, and I think I would use Dear Man. And Dear Man is an interpersonal effectiveness technique that is very direct. It's not aggressive, but it doesn't leave a lot of room for confusion. I'll say that. And so I normally prescribe dear men to people who kind of beat around the bush. Maybe they're passive. They don't have a lot of confidence, whatever the case may be. In this case, I would prescribe it not because I don't think this woman has confidence or anything like that, but because this is just a very direct situation. And so it would just be really important to stop dragging it out. You've dragged it out for 2 years at this point. 2 years. No more. You get no more time with this. So sit your partner down and ask them, and I say this every episode. You guys could probably finish this sentence for me at this point, but sit them down, get their what? Agreement. And why? Because if we don't have agreement, we're not talking to anyone, we're talking at them. So sit your partner down, get their agreement to have the conversation. Let them know this is not going to be the most pleasant conversation. And then see if they have the capacity. Ask them, hey, I want to talk to you about something serious. It's not a subject that is pleasant in nature. However, it is something that I really feel it important for you to know. Do you have the capacity to have this conversation with me? And so then it's up to your partner to determine whether or not they have the capacity. Now, one thing that you might find is that individuals might not have the capacity, but they're curious. And so they allow their curiosity to outweigh their actual capacity. And so then you find that after the information is shared, they absolutely did not have capacity for that conversation, and so they shut down. And this happens a lot because our curiosity takes the better of us. I mean, come on. It killed the cat. So, I mean, come on. Now, if he agrees to have the conversation, and he, in this case, actually does have the capacity for this conversation, then you just kind of tell him, hey, I know that we've been together for a long time. You know, my ex-husband, whomever, I've been knowing him since I was 10, you know that. Well, I want you to know that I still kind of look out for him. And please give a reason why. Explain why. Because in the question, you don't explain. Benefit of the doubt. He's homeless, or he is mentally unstable, and he needs someone to make sure he takes his medication. I don't know. Again, benefit of the doubt here. So let them know why. And this is not me saying make excuses, because there is a good chance that after this conversation, your partner might say, okay, that's great, but I don't agree with that. I don't feel comfortable with that. And then they tell you it's not happening for them. So I'm not saying to make excuses, because nothing is excusing the behavior. You're just uncovering it. And this is one of the first parts of forgiveness, is actually uncovering the thing that needs to be forgiven. And in this case, you're having an emotional or a financial affair with this individual. So you tell them, and then be ready for whatever it is that they feel and say back to you based off of the information they just received. You telling them is not giving you a free pass to do whatever you want to do. Oh, well, I told you, so now I can keep doing it. No, that's not what it is. You telling them is now putting you both in a way where you can have a conversation about it. You can have a conversation. You can compromise. This is not, I'm coming in big, bad, red hot. Look, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm looking out for my ex, so I'm just letting you know because it is what it is. No, that's not a relationship. Barking orders at somebody or telling them, I don't really care how you feel about it. It's going to be what it's going to be. That's not a relationship, at least not a healthy one. If you're going to have this conversation, be ready to end things if need be. Be ready for that, because that might just be what they ask of you. And it's within their right to ask you not to have a financial or emotional affair with someone. And if it's too much for you, then I really would encourage you to figure out Why? Why can't you let this relationship go? What is it about this individual that continues to pull you back in? What is it about them that supersedes your value of self-worth, things of that nature, okay? So I hope that was helpful for you, and if not, well, I said what I said, so no, I'm kidding. But seriously, I hope that was helpful for you. And if you do want to be one of the people that are featured in our listener spotlight segment, give me a call at 1-855-959-WOVU. Again, that is 1-855-959-W, which is 96. When you call, make sure you leave a clear and concise message. Yes, speak directly into the clown's mouth, okay? So that we can hear you, and then we'll be able to possibly play you, on the next show. So if you want that to be you, call the number, leave the message, and then the rest will be history. With that being said, it is time for another break, and I'll be right back with Lyrical Detachment. So you stick and stay. Don't go away. You won't want to miss it.
White stylish. Stay tuned to Damage Control on 95.9 WOVU.
Hey, it's Dr. J.
And Casey from HHW Ohio.
Wise Pathways is back. Our next cohort starts June 25th, 2024.
Wise Pathways is a free career exploration and professional development course for women considering careers in mostly male fields such as construction and the building trades.
To learn more about Wise Pathways, visit one of our information sessions all around Cleveland. We will be at the Cleveland Public Library, Huff and Woodland branches, and the Olivet Community Development.
To find out more, visit hhwohio.org or call us at 216-471-8228, extension 304.
And remember, to make a life
and not just a living.
Hey, Cleveland, you want to hear your questions live on air? Call us at 1-855-959-WOVU for your chance to be heard live.
Hey Cleveland, visit supportiveadvice.com/damage control for recaps and sneak peeks of new episodes.
Hey, now I know you weren't about to touch that dial. Stay tuned to more Damage Control on 95.9 WOVU Cleveland.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Did you know that 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year? Our mental health journey starts with a single moment. Take a moment to prioritize your mental health care without guilt or shame. Remember, Black people experience mental health conditions at similar rates to other racial groups, but tend to have a much harder time accessing resources to treat them. Call, chat, or text 988 to speak with a trained crisis counselor. Visit the Cleveland office of Minority Health at clevelandhealth.org for more information. Funded by the Ohio Commission on Minority Health.
Off the track, let me say facts. I told you, give me a minute and I'll be right back. 50 million around the world and they said that I couldn't get it. I done got so sick and filthy with binges I can't spin. How you gonna be talking? Act like I just got a minute. Been the number one diva in this game for a minute. I know you read the paper, the one that they call a queen. Every radio around the world know me. Hey, I'm a diva. I'm a diva. I'm a diva.
And we're back. So thank you so much for staying with us. We are almost to the end of our show, but before we go, we are going to do lyrical detachment. And for those that don't know what lyrical detachment is, it is when I play a song that typically you request, or a song I just really want to hear, and then I put it up on the chopping block. I take it from a systemic perspective, a therapeutic perspective, an attachment perspective, and whatever other perspective is relevant, and I pretty much dissect the song. And yeah, so if you want a song to be featured on Lyrical Detachment, then you would need to go to the website at supportiveadvice.com/damage control to submit that song for me to review and put on the air. I chose the song today, and today is going to be a song of empowerment, because lyrical detachment is not just about saying what's wrong with lyrics or what messages are being sent out that are unhealthy. It's also about highlighting lyrics that show self-worth and are empowering. So today I have chosen one of my faves, and that is Beyonce. Yes, that was Beyonce, Irreplaceable, okay? So I love this song, and part of the reason why I love this song is because it is a song that talks about value. My value is not defined by whether or not you stay or you go. She sees herself in this song as the prize, and as seeing herself that way, she is able to release the relationship when she realizes that she's not being treated the way that she would like to be treated. And so she says, you're cheating, you're doing all of these things, and I'm good. You know, you can take your stuff, you can leave. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. Interestingly enough, though, she also alludes to the fact that she was kind of financially taking care of this person. And so it kind of makes me wonder if maybe at some point in the relationship, this individual lacked some value or self-understanding as far as their value was concerned. And so they were paying for this guy. They were doing all of these things, putting him up, getting him a car, whatever it is. And she's like, don't take that. That belongs to me. Don't take that. Don't take that. But when you see someone giving a lot of monetary things, a lot of times it is to substitute for the fact that they don't feel that them by themselves is valuable. They don't feel worthwhile. So they will try to make up for that or account for that by giving monetary gifts if that's something that they can afford to do. I do want to point that out. And that doesn't mean that you should, because I don't really even like to use the word should, but that it's not okay to give a present, or if you give a present, you must not have any self-worth. However, if you notice that the only time you feel valuable in the relationship is when you're giving something, that's something to think about and consider, okay? Now, giving gifts is a love language, just like receiving gifts is a love language. So, yes, some people might express their love through presents, and that doesn't mean that they have low self-esteem. However, again, if you are tying your value to what you are able to buy someone or do for someone, I would definitely encourage you to explore where that's coming from, because you have value as just breathing, just waking up in the morning, just being who you are. You add value to a room. And so at some point, it seems as though this woman said in this, I mean, obviously, but the character in this song said, no, you must not know who I am, okay? I am the person that was able to do these things for you. I have a certain level of self-worth that will allow me to detach from this relationship because I am not being treated fairly. And I can get another person. I can obtain another relationship. Now, do I promote going right from one relationship to another? No, I don't specifically promote that, but essentially what she's saying is, don't worry about anything. I got this on my own. I don't need your help with anything. Now, that could be hyper independent or viewed as hyper independent, or it could be viewed as just understanding your worth, your value, and what you're bringing to the table. Everything is not hyper independence. You know, being able to lean back on yourself when you feel that someone else is not holding you up the way that maybe you thought they would. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. As far as her saying that the guy is replaceable, she's definitely taking value away from him to boost herself up, which I don't necessarily recommend. You can be valuable, someone else can be valuable, and
not work out in a relationship. He doesn't all of a sudden become unvaluable because he did something that was deemed irresponsible, hurtful, etc. He's a human just like everybody else. And so at the end of the day, she does take away value from him because he's cheated on her and she's upset and she wants him to know, oh, okay, you think that you're more than you are. Let me kind of bring you back down to size. Is that really necessary? No. Does it make for a great song? Yes. Do I dig the lyrics? 100%. But do I recommend putting that much energy into pulling someone else down to lift yourself up? No, because you don't need to. If you understand your value, you don't ever need to diminish anyone else's to shine. Okay? It was so awesome talking to you guys today. Don't forget to join me next week on Monday at 2 o'clock. And don't forget to give us a call at 1-855-959-WOVU if you want to be featured in Listener Spotlight. Again, that is 1-855-959-WOVU, which is 9688. You don't want to be on the radio? That's cool too. Your question can be submitted. www.supportiveadvice.com/damage control. You can submit questions, songs, all that good stuff. And lastly, don't forget, I'm not just your favorite radio host. I am also a marriage and family therapist. So if you are listening to my show and you're thinking to yourself, man, some of the things that she's saying really resonate with me, I would love to work with her, and you're in the state of Ohio, definitely hit me up, www.supportiveadvice.com. I wish you a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.